All right, so we are going to talk about inequalities, the basics of them today, and how to represent an inequality on a number line. So first, let's just talk about what an inequality is. So it's a comparison of two unequal values. Okay, so we're just comparing two unequal things, and that's all an inequality is. Okay, so it's just the comparison of two unequal values. All right, and then let's talk about their symbols and how to put them on a number line. So normally, if it's greater than, that means like more than, exceeds. So it'll be going towards the X, because remember the inequality, the alligator faces the bigger number, it eats the bigger number. So the inequality is your alligator, and it's eating that bigger thing. Because it's just greater than, that means it's an open circle. And I kind of think about like drawing a line here, and it tells me which way to point the arrow. So it's an open circle going towards the right. And that's going to be greater than. If it's greater than or equal to, that's really similar. So it's the greater than symbol. But because it can be equal to, it's got a line underneath. And again, because it can be equal to, that means it can be that value on the number line. So it's a closed circle, still going to the right. Less than, does not exceed, smaller, those kind of words, goes the opposite direction, right? It's just the opposite of greater than. So it's going to be facing this way. Because it's not equal to, it's an open circle. But now instead of going to the right, it's an open circle going towards the left. When it's equal to, it's still less than, so it's still going this way. But now it's got the line under it because it's equal to. And now it's a closed circle going to the left. Okay, so we're going to take all of that and just kind of like understand where it goes. So looking at this, all numbers, so we can just write an X for that. So all numbers, let's put an X, are less than 3. So less than is this one. So it faces away from it, and then we just put the number there. Okay. If we're saying no more than, it means it can't go over that number. So it can't be greater than, because it's no more than 18. So because of that, again, this really means less than. This really means less than. So we have the same thing, a number. So X is less than 18. If it has to be at least, means it's 16 or more. It's at least 16. I have at least $16. So I have $16 or more. So this is greater than. Because it's at least, it could also be equal to. So you must be at least, so us, X, has to be greater than or equal to 16 to drive. I have more than 15 chickens. So my chickens are more than 15. I want you to pause the video and try E and F on your own. So pause the video really quick and try E and F on your own, please, and thank you. So hopefully you paused and got these two answers. We know that it's going that direction because it's less than or equal to. So that tells me it's got the line here and it's facing less than. You have no more than. We did that up here. No more than means less than, so that's why it's facing this direction. All right, so let's practice graphing these, okay? So we put our circle over top of whatever number. So in this case, my circle is going to be over 0. Because this doesn't have a line underneath of it, it means it's not equal to, which means it's an open circle over that number. Now, that is the greater than symbol, but you don't really need to remember that. All you need to remember to do is draw an arrow, and it tells you which direction to go. So in this case, it goes to the right. But I also know that because it's saying it's greater than. So we just draw whether it's an open or a closed circle over that number, and then which direction. In this one's case, it should be over the number 5. And then because of this line, it means I fill it in. And we draw an arrow, and it's going to the left. All right, I'm going to jump down to letter E really quick, because if you notice, all of these other ones have your variable first, but this one doesn't. So in order to do what I just showed you the last 2 times and which direction it goes, the variable has to come first. So let's just write that variable must come first. Okay, so the variable has to come first. That means we need to rewrite this. We need to flip these. So G comes first, -6 comes here. And when I flip those, I flip my inequality symbol. Okay, so when I just flip them to put the variable first, everything just flips. And now we should know that it is a closed circle because of this line over this number. That's not really over that number. Let's put it a little bit more. And then it goes this direction because of the arrow. So now I want you to take a moment, pause, and do C and D on your own. So pause and do C and D for me. Hopefully you did C and D like I asked, but let's just double check. Over -4, you should have a closed circle going this direction. Over 9, you should have an open circle going this direction. All right, so now that we are done with the notes, I want you to look over to the next page in your little booklet, and you are going to go through and do all of these homework problems. I just want to look at example 1 down here at the bottom. So you're on your homework page. We're down here at the bottom. This has the inequalities graphed, and you need to write them. So we always start with X, because we didn't really talk about this in the notes part. So we always start with X. We'll put the number, it's at 4. And then the arrow is facing this way. So my inequality faces that way. And now we need to look at the circle. Is it open or closed? Well, because I can't see through it like I can down here, I know it's a closed circle. So it should have a line underneath. Okay, and that's all you do. So you write an X, whatever number it's at, and then whichever way the inequality is facing, or and a line if it's a closed circle. Okay, all right, so do the rest of this homework for me, and then start working on the other assignments.